Hi guys, welcome to Create You Podcast, a podcast for creative souls in all walks of life. On this podcast, we talk about being creative, why and how you choose your creative path, and the current creative path that you are on, amongst other things. Let's get creative. Okay, this is awkward because I have a lot of people watching me from the window downside, but guys, welcome. This is my first podcast. First of all, I can't believe it's taken me this long to... Let me make sure my mic is on. I can't believe it's taken me this long to create this podcast. Initially, I was going to do this podcast with two other people. First person was my cousin. She actually works for an airline, so it's really hard for her to come to me. And then we thought of doing something where we traveled and did podcasts. But honestly, it was such a hassle. And then I had another friend who ended up doing a different business venture, and she just felt like podcasting wasn't for her. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think podcasting was for me either. Everybody and their dad are doing a podcast, so honestly, like me trying to do a podcast by myself, I was like, I'm just gonna take what the Lord is telling me to do. Okay, I've been just nervous, just really, really nervous. It's been something I wanted to do for a long time, though I don't feel like I'm that talkative a person. Like, I definitely put myself in the category of being an introvert, but I really want to break out of that. I've been wanting to break out of that for years. Almost turning 30, I'm very much ready to break out of that. So I feel like podcasting is a way for me to express myself and also just get feedback. I love listening to people's opinions, thoughts, actions, words, why they do things and how they do them and what process they took to get there. So that's what this podcast is really about. At the end of the day, I feel like this podcast is also for me because I'm even approaching 30, still very much in this lost space in this world, like a lot of people my age are, and even people younger than me. I feel like at this point, age really is nothing but a number, and we are all just trying to figure it out. And I feel like podcasts are so helpful to me. I feel like I've watched so many different podcasts that have helped me and even given me the courage to start this one. So Create You was a name I literally found while working out at the gym. Funny enough, I joined this gym. I'm no longer with them, but I joined them and I was working out and I was upside down working out, and I saw it said Create You and something else, I forget, and I was like, wait, Create You? So I start Googling and I start searching and I'm like, wait, does anybody else have that name? And so I kept looking up Create You, and everything that kept popping up was like create a podcast, but I never found like a podcast that said Create You. So I was like, oh, I gotta take this name and run with it. It's mine. We need to make an LLC, okay? So I've actually tried to film a video for this prior, and I think I just let fear get in the way. This time I don't want to do that. This is my intro to my podcast. Will I be consistent? I hope so. I pray so, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not a very consistent person. And maybe this will help. I do plan on interviewing other people, and I don't want to just do celebrity interviews. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, and if I ever get to that point, great. But I actually want to interview friends and people I think are just interesting, and people who are creative, period. People who do different genres of work and why and how they got there. I'm sure there's 1,000,001 podcasts out there like this, but at the end of the day, it's me doing it, and there's no one like me. So I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. I chose Create You Podcast because I just found it fitting, not only for my growth, but for those who are also growing and healing as well. I'm excited, and as you can tell, I was reading off my little paper here because I haven't memorized my intro yet, but that's what it's going to be. I'm so excited for this podcast. I'm so happy I'm starting. It's about time.